Okay, chef, what are you doing there first then? What are you making?
This is the minced beef you're going to get in your pack, and we're going to go and stick that in the pan now. A little bit of oil in the pan, just on a low heat. The mince is quite compact, so we just need to break that down, reduce it down, and then we need to take the fat off there because there will be some residual fat in there, and then we'll go from there on to make other things with this amount of meat we've got.
Okay, chef, thank you. So could you, if you didn't want to make that much, could you break that down and then
of course,
yeah,
you could break it down into quarters or eighths and just freeze it down as long as it's, you know, we're capable of freezing it.
Okay.
It hasn't been frozen before. But we'll just do that amount for now. That's absolutely fine. And we'll wrap that one up. I'll give that to my lovely assistant. Obviously, wash your hands every time you're dealing with raw meat.
So you're keeping it constantly on the move, or yeah, just to stop it sticking?
What you can do is add a little bit of water just to make sure that you don't burn it at the bottom.
So if you notice there was a lot of fat on that, what can you do? Because I know sometimes I'm cooking at home, I get a mince and it's very fatty, and you make the dish and then it comes to the top and it spoils it. Is there anything we can?
So yeah, once we've done this, you can basically push the fat to one side, and you can just pull the fat backwards like this. You can tip that forward. With a small ladle or spoon, you can just take that out.
Okay.
If you put it into a small container, put that in your fridge overnight. Next day, you can just scoop it out and throw it in the bin.
Okay, lovely.
Or if you want it, you can use it like dripping in the olden days.
Oh, roast potatoes, that'd be nice.
You can do it on your roast potatoes. It's just basically, it is beef fat, so it wouldn't do you any harm. Right, so we'll just let that cook through.
Okay.
Right. As you can see, we're still cooking this mince. It's just slowly cooking down, which is great.
Okay.
It's just softly breaking down itself. So we'll sort this in a minute.
So it doesn't want to be too high when we're doing this. It wants to be just nice gentle heat.
A nice gentle heat, because when it's really tightly, because that's how you buy it now in the supermarkets. They're all really tightly compact. These little 1 kilo, half kilo, they're all vat packed now.
Okay.
So, and what that's doing now is that's giving maybe the supplier to the customers another week's worth of life in it, and you know, once you break it down, it's getting into a nice smooth consistency. You can just tap it just to break it away a bit, but what we'll do is we'll drain off the fat in that in a minute. I'll show you how much we get off there in a sec.
Okay.
Right, this mince another minute, and then we're going to get that. You can just see at the bottom of the pan there's a little bit of residue fat. And so what we're going to do is just take that out. There's other ways you can do it. Obviously, you can use a little bit of kitchen towel just to dab it. If it's only a small amount, but it is better to get that out, because what will happen is if you're making something, you'll get a film on top. If you leave it to chill, if you've got lasagna or anything like that, it will rise.
Okay,
it won't look very good at all.
So how long has that been cooking for now, chef?
That's been on about 15 minutes.
15 minutes, okay.
I mean, obviously you can, if you stand and watching it, you can turn the heat up and just keep stirring it and breaking it down. So there's not, you know, an initial 15 minutes of doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything we do, professionally, what we use in our kitchens is we give everything 3 days to use up. Generally what we're making though, we make either on the day before to finish off the next day, and then, you know, if we're making a lasagna, we'd make our mince the day before, and then we'd have it all made, ready to go in the oven for the next day. And then we serve it and it's all gone. Okay. We generally make enough. We've got our production is so that we're getting left with virtually no waste. Okay. But if you do have any left, because you've made it, as long as you haven't cooked it a second time, if you've got one that you haven't made to serve, freeze it. Okay. And if you freeze it 3 months in your freezer, give it a really good wrap. You know, if you have got a backpack, you can use one of them machines. That gives you longer. I can double the life on that. But at least you can, you know, make small portions up, you know, takeaway containers, stick it in your freezer. Okay. As long as you date it, you know, it's not going to sit in there for 3 years. You'll be all right. And
you're going to, like you said, you're going to be showing us all the variations of the mince.
Yeah, we're going to do that now.
Okay. So if I was, so basically, if I was at home and I was making this mince,
yeah,
and I had some left, you're going to show us different ways to use that.
Yeah.
So obviously, you've got to use the mince, but your child wants something different, which is the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically, for that mince we've got here, you know, we could be making 3 or 4 or 5 different dishes out of it, to be fair. If you make a bolognese, That's your basis for a lasagna. It's a basis basically for a moussaka. You know, and then you can obviously make with the pasta.